From kidnappers to Chronicle reporter Henry Lee, we kidnapped Denise Huskins and held her for ransom after breaking into the home of Aaron Quinn. The kidnapping was not a hoax, and neither is this statement by us, the perpetrators. To know now that this email was written by Matthew Muller as he was still plotting crimes.
The Santa Clara County District Attorney charged Matthew Muller with 2 new felonies from unsolved attacks in Mountain View.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it as a reporter or editor. It's remarkable.
That search continues for the Vallejo woman who disappeared yesterday. Police say 29-year-old Denise Huskins was possibly kidnapped for ransom.
But there are still a lot of questions.
Kidnapping is just a huge story. You don't know what's going on, but you sort of throw all your resources at it. I mean, you don't know if there's going to be a body that turns up. You don't know if there's going to be a big development in the case. I was breaking news editor at the Chronicle, so I was sort of managing the story and directing reporters. The day after Aaron Quinn reported his girlfriend Denise Huskins missing, Henry Lee, the reporter, was out on Mare Island, out near the house, talking to police, when his phone pinged. And in came an email that just stunned him. It said that it was from the kidnappers. And he immediately forwarded it to me and to the editor-in-chief of the paper. I mean, we didn't know what to think. A kidnapping is already very rare, and this email said that they wanted to show us proof of life.
Okay, my name is Denise Huskins, and I'm kidnapped, otherwise fine.
And it actually was a proof of life recording of Denise Huskins. They had a reference to a plane crash that had happened that day to show you that it was current. And the voice said, my first concert I've ever been to was Blink-182. We were able to call the father of Denise Huskins and just say, basically off the record, is this her voice? Yes, that's Denise. He was, incredibly frightened. We're doing the story and it was gripping the Bay Area that this woman is missing, but we're also dealing with the fact that we may be communicating with the kidnapper. Every decision around that was us thinking about how that might impact the case. The one thing we couldn't do was do harm. Because she's missing, because there's danger, we just have to give it to the police as soon as possible, and that's what we did. She's dropped off near her family's home in Huntington Beach. So it's this miraculous thing where she returns. Within hours, the police call a press conference and they just come right out and say this is all a hoax.
If you can imagine devoting all of our resources, 24 hours a day, on what I will classify as a wild goose chase, it's a tremendous loss.
I mean, we were stunned. I mean, it happened so fast. We knew that the couple was saying that they were really the victim of a kidnapper. So we were shocked. We received this massive 10,000-word sort of manifesto from the kidnapper. It's got pictures of the place where he says he held Denise Huskins. Here's a picture of a sort of crude weapon, a flashlight with a fake gun. But the main part of the letter was saying, you have to tell the police that this was real. Like, this couple doesn't deserve this, which is a very strange thing for a kidnapper to say about their victim. If we were better, stronger people, we would turn ourselves in. But we all agree that we cannot allow the victim's suffering to be compounded. Knowing that, we forwarded this to the police, and they apparently did almost nothing with it. It's frustrating, and just wish that somehow it would have went a little differently. I think seeing the documentary, you really get a sense of how painful it was at each step of the way for Denise and Aaron. And I've spoken to Aaron since, and they went through hell. Thinking about whether there are things that we could have done differently, we did put a lot of effort into revealing the truth. Ultimately, we're not the police, and we know now that the police had tons of information. This was a police department that almost willfully got it wrong. That's probably one of the most infuriating things, is like the crimes that happen later. They could have solved that case the very weekend that it happened, and other people wouldn't have had to be victimized.